Orioles insider, Mr. Roch Kubatko. And Roch, I know the Orioles had to make a tough call today. Every team had to go from 28 to 26. Right. But explain McKenna and Gutierrez and that decision today.
Yeah, they would love to have the full bench. There's no doubt about that. That would be ideal for them. They just can't right now because they realize they really have to have the extra arm. It's just the way things are with the short spring training. You know, you've got Tyler Wells in the tandem situation. You need the extra arm. So that's what they did. And with McKenna, they want him playing every day in AAA or getting more steady at-bats instead of sitting on the bench. They will miss that defensive replacement late innings. I mean, he's a good guy for that. But they do have other players that can play the outfield, including some super utility guys. With Gutierrez, it was just a lack of versatility. If you're only playing third base, you can't be 4 for 28. It's that simple. That's just not going to work. So, you know, he's out of minor league options. They felt like they had to go ahead and make this move. You know, Brandon was saying he's a great guy, but he got off to the slow start, and they just have other players who can, you know, move around, and he isn't one of them. Chris Owings, for example, I don't know if you've heard, he's 2 for 18 with 12 strikeouts. You can check social media and be reminded of his struggles, and not that he's happy about that, but he can do that right now because he's a super utility guy. He plays everywhere but first base and catcher. So, you know, you keep him on the roster. So, you know, that's the reason he's still here. And again, with McKenna, they really do like him, but they don't want him just sitting on the bench. It's a luxury right now to have him, you know, coming in late in games. They want him playing a lot more regularly in AAA. So that's what he's going to get the opportunity to do. And Braden said, look, we'll see him back up here soon.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen. And the roster, of course, evolves throughout the course of the long season. Now, Rougned Odor, we have no idea what would have happened, but Rougned Odor had a huge day yesterday. The Orioles really need his left-handed bat, and he helped himself out yesterday.
Right, and that's really why he's here. That's another one that fans are saying, you know, what about this guy? Well, it's only been a month in the season. He had 3 hits Sunday at Yankee Stadium. That was a really ugly game, but he did have 3 hits. And as you said, 2 yesterday, including his first home run. That only brings the average to 200 with a 601 on-base plus slugging, but they're trying to get him going because they do really lean heavily to the other side. They don't have a lot of left-handed bats on this roster. So they really want him to start hitting here. They need that right now. And they're going to give him more opportunities in just 1 month in the season. Now, if he's still not hitting at the end of May, going into June, maybe that changes. But it was just too soon to make the switch right now. He's going to keep playing in this kind of platoon role against right-handers, and they hope that that gets him going because they really want the left-handed bat. And I don't think he's really blocking anybody right now. If you check in AAA, there's nobody beating down the door to be the everyday second baseman. So they're going to stick with him and hope that he heats up, which he's shown some signs of doing.
Yeah, that's a really good point about what's happening right now at AAA. So he's not taking the spot, at least as of right now, of anyone. As far as other injury news, Dean Kramer, who has not pitched this entire season, was warming up in that opening series against the Rays and then got hurt in the bullpen. We haven't seen him since.
Yeah, I saw him warming, and all of a sudden he's walking to the dugout, and I'm like, well, maybe he's going to come into the game from there, which is not what happened at all. He strained his oblique, but he threw a side session 2 days ago down in Sarasota, a bullpen session. So he's getting closer to return from that strain. Now, I don't know whether he's going to have to go on a rehab assignment first to face some hitters. He hasn't done that, or if he's healthy and they can bring him up. He could provide valuable length in the bullpen, kind of a bulk guy, maybe backing up Wells or someone else. So they're trying to get him healthy. So that's one of the guys kind of under the radar because we haven't seen him. He had left the team. He's down in Sarasota, as is Shed Long Jr., the toolsy Shed. I mean, you got to love a guy who's toolsy named Shed. You know, he had surgery on his right tibia. The last 2 years, he's had 2 procedures. They signed him to a minor league deal. He's getting ready to go out on an injury rehab assignment as well. So that's somebody to kind of keep in mind that when he's healthy. Remember, he was Seattle's opening day second baseman in 2020. So if he's playing really well at one of the affiliates, AAA we'll assume, maybe that's a guy that we see come up. So there's 2 right there. And, of course, visible to us is Trey Mancini, who's out of the lineup again today. He said he's available. He's got the bruised ribs. He slammed into the fence Friday night. Brandon said we'll see. Now, Brandon said he wasn't available the last 2 days. Of course, we weren't told that till today because you don't announce that to the other team. Hey, we don't have this guy, so don't worry about him coming off the bench. And, of course, Trey was kind of playing dumb with it, too. I'm fine. It's just a day off. He was in a lot of pain the last 2 days. He was not available. He might be tonight. He says he is. We'll see. And, of course, Chris Ellis is kind of a mystery, the right shoulder inflammation. That's all we know. That's a symptom, right? I'm not a doctor, but inflammation is a symptom of something else. We haven't really been told what that is. I'm sure he's had the MRI. So for now, he's getting treatment. The big one, Alexander Wells, of course, the injury to his elbow, the UCL strain. So we don't know. He's got 8 to 12 weeks. That's a guy that could have obviously given him length out of the pen or be starting every 5 days in AAA to continue his development. So that's a pretty unfortunate loss for them because it's, you want him to develop, and he's not going to be able to do that being on the shelf 8 to 12 weeks.
The Bowie Bay Sox made a big announcement yesterday that Adley Rutschman and D.L. Hall are joining their roster starting tomorrow night. What does that tell us about how close really Adley's getting at this point?
Yeah, I hadn't heard that. Is he really going to Bowie? Did they mention that at all?
They did. Apparently, that rumor's out there.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it shows that he's getting closer to going to AAA, I think. He may get some at-bats there. I don't know if he's going to go right from Bowie to the majors, but he was in Aberdeen for what, more than four games? So, I mean, he's moving quickly. He'll go to Bowie, play a little bit there. Then maybe he does go up to AAA as the next step. But he's getting close, I think. I mean, we're not going to get a firm date. Maybe it's like, check the schedule, one of the next home series coming up or something. Maybe that's when you spring him. Meanwhile, Hall is where he was supposed to be. Eventually, he was going back to Bowie. 7 starts last year there before the stress reaction in the elbow. So he's where he's supposed to be. Adley is getting closer to where he's supposed to be.
I'm so excited for the Roch tweet that's coming at some point that Adley Rutschman is coming to Baltimore. When you break that story, that's going to be awesome.
No fake Roch accounts tweeting that out. Check the look for the blue check mark.
Orioles insider for MASN, Roch Kubatko. Roch, thanks so much.
Thank you.